CNN has new exclusive reporting about Congressman Eric Swalwell. The Democrat is running for California governor, as you know. He's been facing rumors on social media about sexual misconduct allegation that he has denied. CNN's Pamela Brown and her team have spoken with 4 accusers, including a former staffer who went on camera to share her story. A warning, you're about to hear some disturbing and graphic details. Here's Pamela Brown's report.
I kept figuring out ways to blame myself. I shouldn't have reached out to him at all. I should have left. I should have done this. Well, Eric shouldn't have raped me.
This Capitol Hill staffer is coming forward for the first time on camera to talk about her experience with Congressman Eric Swalwell. He is now a leading Democratic candidate for governor of California.
Let's get together, make the biggest wave this state has ever seen.
Swalwell was in his late 30s and married when she joined his office as an intern and became a junior staffer. She's speaking in shadow as she fears professional consequences.
It was in 2019. I was, again, driving him to an event. This was my job.
And you were 21 years old.
And I was 21 years old. We see some sort of parking lot, and he says to pull over. He pulls out his penis and instructs me to give him oral sex. And I started to. Again, I felt incredibly uncomfortable. And I stopped, and I said to him, this feels really uncomfortable, and anyone could see us right now. And he said to me, you're right. It's probably not good for a congressman to be caught with his pants down.
Swalwell calls her allegations false. His campaign responded earlier to vague accusations on social media related to his behavior with staffers.
Did you ever behave inappropriately with female staffers?
No, it's false. And also, some of the allegations I've seen, which is that we've had NDAs in the office. There's never been an allegation, and there's never been a settlement. And, I will also just take stock that, look, we're 27 days before an election starts.
Did he ask you to send him lewd photos?
Yes.
And did he ever send lewd photos?
Yes. He would send short Snapchat videos of him rubbing his penis through his pants while on the airplane.
The staffer says she liked Swalwell's attention at first and nervously went along with it, which included sending back nude photos of herself. But in September 2019, she says she and some friends met up with Swalwell. After a night of heavy drinking, she says she woke up naked with Swalwell in a hotel room with no memory of what happened.
The 5 of us were having some drinks. At some point, it was time to go home. I got in an Uber. I was taken to the Aloft Dublin Pleasant Inn where he was staying. And I don't remember what happened that night. But I know that there was sexual contact. Because when I woke up in the morning, I could feel that there was. And he said as much, too.
What did he say?
That last night was great. It didn't feel great to me because I didn't remember it.
And so you blacked out and you end up in his hotel room and wake up with him.
Yes.
She says another incident occurred in 2024 after this event in New York, where Swalwell gave a speech.
Some of us are working hard on Capitol Hill.
At the time, she no longer worked for Swalwell's office.
I decided to ask him to meet me for a drink. And I did this because I was so far removed from what had happened in 2019. I felt safe because I was established, I had a partner, I felt more secure that I could have a strictly professional relationship with this person. After that bar closed, we went to another. I went to the bathroom, and I don't remember anything after that.
You don't remember anything?
I remember the next day, I can see flashes of that evening, of him on top of me pushing him off, him grabbing me. It was a lot more aggressive. It was aggressive.
Did you say no?
Yes, I said no. In my flash that I can recall, I was pushing him off of me saying no.
And what did he do?
He didn't stop.
He didn't stop. And you woke up the next morning.
I woke up the next morning naked, alone in his hotel room. I, for a moment, didn't even know I was in his hotel room. That's how intoxicated I was. And I called my mom, the only person I could think that could help me.
Her mother confirmed her account in an interview with CNN. CNN also reviewed screenshots of texts she sent to a friend, saying she was, quote, sexually assaulted by Eric. She also shared this note from a physician's assistant, calling her a, quote, survivor, after she went to get tested for STDs 1 week later.
Why do you feel like it's so important to speak out now?
When I found out there were others who might have been impacted by Eric in different ways, I realized I couldn't be scared anymore, because that is how he keeps us quiet. The fear, the shame.
In addition to this former staffer, 3 other women who spoke with CNN also alleged sexual misconduct by Swalwell. One said he kissed her and touched her without her consent. 2 of the women said he sent them unsolicited explicit messages or nude images of himself, something the others say Swalwell did with them as well. One shared this message where he commented on her photo and wrote, quote, that swimsuit, with an expletive. You like it? She responded. Yes, very much like, he wrote. In a statement to CNN, Swalwell said, quote, these allegations are false and come on the eve of an election against the frontrunner for governor. For nearly 20 years, I have served the public as a prosecutor and a congressman and have always protected women.
There is another me out there. There is another young girl who dreams of working in this field and believes in him and could fall into this trap.
And that's why you're speaking out.
Yeah.
You want to protect others like you when you were young.
No one protected me. Sorry. No one protected me, and I don't want someone else to suffer because I know what I know.
And Pamela Brown joins me now. Pamela, unbelievably intense in terms of that conversation. What else do we know about how the campaign's been responding? I mean, obviously he's running for governor. He's a member of Congress. This is unbelievably striking.
Yeah, he is under mounting pressure to withdraw from Democratic leaders. His campaign is unraveling since these allegations came to light today. And Congressman Swalwell, for his part, posted this video defending himself, particularly against the sexual assault allegations. So I want to watch what he posted to social media.
A lot has been said about me today through anonymous allegations, and I thought it was important that you see and hear from me directly. These allegations of sexual assault are flat false. They are absolutely false. They did not happen. They have never happened, and I will fight them with everything that I have. They also come on the eve of an election where I have been the frontrunner candidate for governor in California. I do not suggest to you in any way that I'm perfect or that I'm a saint. I have certainly made mistakes in judgment in my past, but those mistakes are between me and my wife. And to her, I apologize deeply for putting her in this position. I also apologize to you if in any way you have doubted your support for me. But I think you know who I am. For over 20 years, I have served the public as a city councilman, as a member of Congress, and as a prosecutor who went to court on behalf of victims, particularly on behalf of sexual assault victims. That's who I am and have always been. This weekend, I'm going to spend time with my family and friends, and I appreciate those who have reached out to me to show support, and I look forward to updating you very soon.
And a lawyer for Swalwell sent 2 of the women CNN spoke with cease and desist letters on Thursday. That was a day after CNN first reached out to his campaign to request comment, according to copies of the letters that they provided CNN, the women. Now, the letters called the women's accounts false, ordered them to retract their statements, and warned of potential legal action if they continue to speak out. The women stand by their accounts to us. Laura.
Pamela Brown, thank you so much.
Thank you.
The political fallout, it has been swift. House Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi is encouraging him to drop out of the race for California governor, saying any investigation that happens, quote, is best done outside of a gubernatorial campaign. Other Democrats, even more forceful. Longtime ally and California Senator Adam Schiff saying, quote, I am withdrawing my indictment immediately and believe that he should withdraw from the race.
Congressman Swalwell's attorney, Elias Dubai, joins us live now from Los Angeles exclusively. Thank you so much for joining us. CNN gave Congressman Swalwell multiple opportunities to respond on camera to Pamela's reporting. I invited him to join us live tonight. He just posted that video online. But why won't he join us to answer the questions directly?
Well, let me start by telling you that we take these allegations very seriously. The congressman categorically denies any misconduct took place, and we intend to vindicate his rights in court.
So when you say that you take them seriously, are you suggesting, and what he just said there was that he made mistakes between me and my wife, I apologize to her deeply. Is he saying that he cheated on his wife but didn't do anything illegal?
I'm not going to get into the details of that. Our investigation is ongoing. A lot of it is privileged. But I can tell you, based on the video that you just played, the congressman takes accountability for potential lapses in judgment, but again, categorically denies any wrongdoing.
So your investigation is ongoing. Why isn't he here, though, to answer those questions? You didn't answer that question. Why isn't he putting himself out there to answer the questions directly?
Well, he has a campaign to run. He's busy. He's taking these allegations seriously. And again, as he told you in that video, he's spending time with his family and his wife and his friends, and that's his choice.
So there are now 4 different women who accuse Congressman Swalwell of sexual misconduct. Is your position that all of them are lying?
Look, as an attorney, I look at credibility, I look at motive, and I have to question the timing of these allegations 25 days out from an election. Many of these allegations are from women who claim that the wrongdoing took place many years ago. And in those years, the evidence I've seen demonstrates that these women, certain of them, have reached out to the congressman on multiple occasions, wishing him nothing but the best, supporting his campaign, saying that they'd vote for him for governor, asking for references for jobs, attending social events with him. So from my perspective, looking at the facts, I do have to question the credibility of these allegations.
You know that there's a long history and a lot of evidence of sexual assault experts who say that the victims often go back to the perpetrators and that is frequently a thing. So just because they went back and continued a relationship with him, everything they're saying is not true?
I'm telling you that I'm assessing the credibility of the claims that are being made, the timing of the allegations, and it raises eyebrows.
But there is evidence. I mean, in Pam's piece, she showed a note from a physician's assistant that called her a survivor. She had an STD pregnancy testing. We talked to family and friends she confided in. We saw text messages from the time. That was way before he was running for governor, at a time when she believed in him as a candidate and as a congressperson.
I'd prefer not to get
into those. That was all cooked up years ago?
I'd prefer not to get into those details at this time, but I can say that those text messages were sent by someone who was in a relationship at the time and may have had her own motives.
What does that mean?
The investigation is ongoing, and I do plan on vindicating the congressman's rights.
So the Democratic leader of the House, Hakeem Jeffries, is calling for a swift investigation in the House, where the congressman is still a member. Is Congressman Swalwell prepared to testify under oath that he never had sexual relations with any staffer?
That's something that we have not looked at yet. I'm hearing this now for the first time, and I'm not prepared to give you a response.
So he is not prepared to testify under oath before a House Ethics Commission?
That's not what I said. I said I have not discussed that.
So he's willing to testify under...
I didn't say either one of those. I said that I have not discussed that with the congressman, and that's something that we will look at.
So there is a growing list of Swalwell's friends and colleagues who had endorsed him for governor, but now say that they are pulling their endorsement. That includes Congressman Jimmy Gomez and Senator Adam Schiff, who were campaign co-chairs. They now say he should drop out. Is Eric Swalwell still running for governor of California tonight?
As of this moment, yes, he is. He intends to continue his campaign. Yes, very much so. The notion that all these people, the notion that all these people pulled their support, I suspect that there are political machinations behind the scenes explaining why the Democratic Party has decided to try to consolidate the vote in order to make sure that a Democratic candidate makes it past the primary. So I'm not surprised to see that.
That doesn't make any sense. That's one thing if we're talking about the candidates that are running against him. These are people who endorsed him. These are some of his best friends in Congress. Ruben Gallego, one of his closest friends. Jimmy Gomez, who he asked to chair the campaign. People who have made commercials for him saying go out and vote for him. They are now saying on the record that he should drop out. Many of them saying they believe the women, not him. I mean, why are they all lying? What is their motivation in this? And why is he not listening to his best friends in Congress?
People are free to make their choices. I think this might be an example of a rush to judgment. We have not seen any evidence to support these allegations, and people are rushing to judgment. That's their choice.
Why have none of Swalwell's closest allies come out tonight to back him up?
It's early in the night. That might change.
So Swalwell said to at least one of the women that he wanted to take their conversations to Snapchat. Why? Why would he want to communicate with disappearing messages with younger individuals that he's interacting with in a professional capacity?
Well, I haven't seen any evidence that ever took place.
Well, okay. Hopefully we can provide that to you later, but at least
I'll look forward to seeing the evidence.
So several of the women received cease and desist letters. They have now spoken out. Do you plan on prosecuting or going forward with legal action against the women?
We are looking at the evidence, and that is something that we are taking very seriously. These allegations were made anonymously. We triangulated sources, and we were able to identify who was making these claims. We believe that these claims are false, and once we had enough information to determine who was making them, we sent cease and desist letters, and we're now looking at all available legal options. Yes.
When is Eric Swalwell going to be back on the campaign trail?
That's not clear. He's taking time with his family right now, and that's a decision for him to make.
Well, we appreciate you coming on and talking with us, and we look forward, hopefully, to having the opportunity to talk with him as well. Elias Dubai, thanks so much for being with us.
My pleasure.
Let's go back now to CNN's chief investigative correspondent, Pamela Brown. Your first reaction to what we just heard?
Well, yeah, a few things. First of all, Alex, when he says he engaged in no wrongdoing, there's legal wrongdoing, right? And there's moral wrongdoing. And I didn't hear clearly a specification as it came to that. And one of the big points that his attorney raises is that, look, this happened years ago. Why are these women coming out now during an election cycle where he's leading? And we asked that question, and you heard it there in the piece, Alex. I asked the woman I interviewed, why now, if this happened several years ago? And you heard her say there was shame, there was fear, but also over the last couple of weeks on social media, there have been rumors that other women had these claims. And the women we spoke with, including the one I sat down with, said that emboldened them and gave them the confidence to want to speak out. And as you heard the woman I interviewed, help other women.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that Swalwell puts out a video but doesn't answer questions and gives you guys a very generic statement. And then the attorney comes on and says that he's launching an investigation. But when we ask specific questions about the evidence, says that he hasn't completed his investigation. So yeah. It seems like there's not a lot of answers coming out of the Swalwell campaign at all.
And what I noticed too, a couple of days ago, Congressman Swalwell was asked on the trail, have you ever had an inappropriate sexual relationship with a staffer? And he said, no, that's false. What I noticed in the video he sent out tonight, he didn't talk about that. He didn't deny having a sexual relationship with a staffer. He was really focused. He said he denies the sexual assault allegations, which, of course, as you know, Alex, is criminal. And then he went on to say he has apologized to his wife, which, as you indicated, is he saying that there was misconduct, but maybe not legal misconduct. The lawyer really didn't answer that question. There's still a lot of questions here. And as you pointed out, Alex, some of his friends in Democratic politics are now putting pressure on him to withdraw from this race. And the lawyer seems to indicate that's not going to happen. We'll see how this plays out because his campaign is really unraveling right now.